Frank Novello. Frank, tough opening hole. Want to keep your head up and your eyes straight ahead. Or eye if you only have one.
Exactly, that's for sure. Two choices. You can go down the left side. There's a little piece of fairway. Most people, well, should I say the prudent players down that right side, much bigger fairway, which is right of that big rock in the middle of the fairway. Either way, it's a tough start.
Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. Second from an excellent lie. Missed the fairway in the fairway bunker now.
It's not all gloom and doom, though. Lip isn't too high. A good swing here still shouldn't be a problem.
Well, given the choice, most players would rather play from the green grass versus the white sand.
Yeah, there was no advantage to try and take that much more out of that fairway bunker. Couldn't reach the green. It's a smart play.
This is a good-looking shot. And the ball settles on the green 26 feet away. Locked in on the read and the speed. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
This would give her the bogey. Missed on that one, Frank.
Yeah.
So a tester from 4 feet. So, 2 over early. Just like that, with a bogey, goes from level par to 1 over. Frank, here at the par 3 second, a player has to be really careful because you could take one across the bow.
And you've got to hit it with a cannon down here, long par 3. You get close to that green, see the water on the right there, plus the waterfall. Our little commentary box up there hopefully doesn't get ransacked during the course of play. Green well protected, as you'd expect, by 2 bunkers. You never know what you find in these bunkers.
You and I have been positioned in some really nice spots in our commentary boxes through the years. Pebble Beach, along the cliffs of the Pacific Ocean, the old course at St. Andrews. This might be the most unusual spot, a treehouse.
It is, especially when we got to walk across that bridge.
And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy.
Just when you think you're going to make birdie, now you have to really concentrate on this and at least make par.
So 1 over par for the round. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Well, Frank, on this hole, the play obviously is to the left, but not too far left.
Too far left and you find the water. You'll find a water grave down there, but you're right. Skin down that left side. This old Captain Hook does bend to the right. And a good tee shot, you just might be able to reach this par 5 in 2.
Funny that a hole called Captain Hook would bend to the right.
Got the measurement out there, Rich. Looks like 290 yards.
Nice position, short grass, second shot. Good lie in the fairway, a good chance to make something happen here. Down, little Sheba, down! That's one of the more depressing sights in golf. You've hit a good one, and then it just sucks back too much spin off the green. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. That's well played. And now a good look at birdie. Getting set now over the putt.
Oh, another one goes in.
This would give her the par. 2-1 over par early on in this round. Here at the fourth, Frank, what's the best way to take on this hole?
It has to be a good tee shot, Rich. It's a dogleg left, but you don't really worry about that fact. Worry about the fact that the fairway is anything other than straight. So somehow just find a little sliver of fairway. Then you're going to find that second shot that much more inviting.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. Probably going to have to hit one more club here, Frank. A little bit uphill. Just a bit left of the hole location.
Should still be okay.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. All right, Frank, second shot.
Yeah, it looks like a good lie. Just take maybe half a club more than the distance allows. Still got to check the wind. Don't have to fly the ball all the way to the flag from here. Even par currently.
That may have been a bit too much to ask for there, that distance putt, Frank.
Yeah, it's fine to be greedy before you hit the putt, but after you've hit it, 2 from that distance is fine. Oh, I thought they'd at least pick up a shot. Birdie looked like a sitter. Now par.
Nothing wrong with that par putt. Still playing even for the day after the par. Well, Frank, this hole really the Pirates at their very best in terms of design. I love what they did here.
Well, it's one hole you don't want to scull your tee shot. A little memento.
Let's see what she's got here. She is loading up for the big one.
That is burning through the atmosphere. Look at that thing. It's got a tail on it.
Yeah, that's like a rocket ship. That one was launched by NASA.
That's an absolute beauty.
Good contact, good result. Frank, I know you got a round in here at Treasure Island yesterday. How'd you fare?
I got a dose of the Captain Hooks.
Good looking shot right here. That will be a great look at birdie. Second shot, good look at the green. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Good work there. Now to even par. And now at 1 under for the round. Sixth hole now at Treasure Island. Frank, this is a severe downhill par 4.
A series of tee boxes here to play, but you're right, Rich. Just sort of tee it up there, let that ball float a little further because of the downhill. Tee shot wants to be left of that huge needle rock to the player's right. And from there, once again, you're not going to have a long second shot to a green that is very, very kind.
You are going to have some really good views from up here. Nice drive, right in the fairway, and a good swing on that one. But this could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it.
Setting up for another approach, our featured golfer has continued that excellent play from earlier in the round.
Indeed, there's no better feeling in the world than when you know you're firing on all cylinders. Hitting fairways, second shot's just going straight at the flag. Right now, everything is working.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Well, she just played a wonderful shot from back there. Frank, there's nothing like catching a bunker shot just perfectly. Splashes out, lands softly, and just runs up to that hole.
Yeah, it's like 3D. There's the component in the strike where it's going to land, and then the third part of it is how much will it roll.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Ooh, so close. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Tough bogey right there, moves to 1 over par. In for par. Well, Frank, this is some hole. This is a par 5, the 7th. It snakes its way all across the island.
You think in a direct route you could be able to reach this par 2, but the rock down the distance nearly makes that second shot impossible to try and carry over. Plus the fact it's a lot of uneven lies down this fairway. The step sort of drops down and level as it goes down the left side, and chances are you won't get a flat lie for that second shot. So play this as a 3-shotter.
Not the best shot, this one in the rough, but still will have a play from there. Outstanding tee shot.
Yeah, ball sitting up. You don't have to worry about the wind or anything there. You just take a full-blooded cut at the second shot from here.
That one ends up in the rough.
Oh, that went sideways.
Second shot coming up here at the par 5. Well, that ball nestled down just a bit in that heavy rough. Well, this will not be an easy shot from the second cut, and 185 yards still to go. Little uphill to this green, Frank.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Trying to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie. This requires a lot of speed through the ball. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
Oh, that even caught me by surprise, Rich. I thought par was in the bag.
This now for bogey. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. So a tester from 4 feet. So with that, the score is now at even par. She needs this for her par. Never a bad score on the card. That's par. You're out of sorts, aren't you? You don't quite know what to make of that.
Yeah, well, X marks the spot. And I know on a treasure map, that means gold, silver, countless jewels. In a game of golf, I'm not so sure. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. That one was running so hot. Well, that's how you play the game. Right there. Solid effort and reasonable result to stay at 1 over par. So just a formality here. Did the job right there. Frank, what's a good pirate design without a mermaid on a hole?
You're exactly right, Rich. Rounding out the front 9 here, mermaid on the right, fairway to the left, and a shipwreck behind the green.
Frank, this one's not looking good.
Yeah, it's certainly not down the fairway line, heading toward the rough.
And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. Missed the fairway in the fairway bunker now.
It's not all gloom and doom, though. Lip isn't too high. A good swing here still shouldn't be a problem.
Oh, man, not a good shot at all.
It was wicked.
Third shot, looking for a good one. Headed for the bunker? In the bunker, still with a chance for an up and down.
Well, that's a little absurd, that, Rich. The shot wasn't that hard, but it's come up well short.
Didn't appear committed through impact. That one is in the bunker. Well, bunker play is really about technique and feel. The 2 greatest ever are probably Gary Player and Seve Ballesteros. Seve actually was so good, he was so skilled, that he could open up a 3-iron, that's right, a 3-iron, on a short bunker shot from a greenside bunker and splash it to a couple of feet as if he had just used a 60-degree sandwich. Amazing. And that's in for a par. So, 2 over par for the round. Par 4 10th hole here, Frank. What's the setup?
2 choices, and that's always hard when you give people a choice. Easier one to the left, more difficult one down the right. Plus, hitting driver off the deck. I don't mean off the ground. off the ship.
What's the benefit of playing it down to the right, Frank?
It's harder, Rich.
She had a good shot off the tee, and now she has all sorts of options available. Let's see what she does here. Pretty good swing right there.
It was. I just love the turn there. Nice full backswing. Didn't sort of rush. All the energy at the right point, which was impact. It's a very good golf swing.
The second shot now to the par 4. Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means. That one is wildly offline right there. Not very good at all right there.
No, I think it's time to sell the clubs, buy a tennis racket.
That's a par. Stays at +2. One over for the day. Moving on to the 11th, it's a par 5 right in the middle of Buccaneer Bay. And Frank, this is an ingenious design.
You got to keep both hands on the wheel here, Rich, because there's so many choices involved. Really 5 fairways to hit at. And then there's a landing area in the distance if you can't reach this par 5 and 2. Obviously, the further right you go, the shorter the hole gets. But look how much smaller the fairway gets.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Just a bit offline and into the bunker. Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. All right, Frank, second shot.
Yeah, it looks like a good lie. Just take maybe half a club more than the distance allows. Still got to check the wind. Don't have to fly the ball all the way to the flag from here.
How tough is this going to be now from the rough, Frank?
Oh, it's tough to say, Rich. I mean, so much is going to depend on that lie. I'm going to need a little bit of luck.
Frank, that was the right thing to do.
Yeah, there was no advantage to try and get any more out of that. Smart shot.
Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here. Well, this is a humbling game, isn't it, Frank?
Well, shots like that, not to be proud of.
Nice putt, and now back to level par. Those keep the round going, those par putts. Frank, here at the 12th, again, you need to make a trip across a couple islands.
Well, that's the thing with Buccaneers Bay. All those choices to be made. There's 5 places, really, to find dry ground. The first 3 for the mere mortals. But if you really want to power up on your EA Sports game, look at the 2 in the distance. You hit something special, you just might find land.
That was just a beautiful drive. He hit it solid and right in the middle. They'll pay a little bit of a price for missing the fairway here because from that rough, you cannot control the spin on the golf ball. Never a pleasant moment, the drop after you've gone into the water, but here we are. After hitting it in the drink, this is the 4th shot.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine. The scorecard is quickly adding up.
Frank, this is one you don't practice, but sometimes you have to do it. Time for the drop.
Yeah, it should be the easiest shot in golf. You've just paid for it.
Rolls in the par putt, stays at +2. Just a shade over par, +1. Frank, this is an amazing hole. The par 5 13th. First chance eventually to get to Volcano Island, but also a chance to make a huge number here. So much trouble.
Well, you can see why, too. There's trouble all over the place here, Rich. Fairway really is down the right side. And then it depends on how far you hit that tee shot. For the multiple of choices with the second, do you go all the way down there? Do you even try and reach the par 5 and 2? Or do you skip across to the other side on the left and then faced with a lengthy third shot? All those decisions abound on this par 5, just under 600 yards.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Good tee shot right in the fairway and plenty long. And setting up here in the rough. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Second from an excellent lie.
That's as bad a shot as I've seen for a long while.
Needs a GPS to find this one.
Yeah, see that thing down there and waving the flag? This is nowhere near that.
Good effort and good par putt. You love to watch him disappear, don't you? Frank, the thing about Treasure Island is at any point a player could stop and consider just where they are. And if they're not where they need to be mentally, they could really be thrown off their game. And you're right at the base of a volcano here.
What's the chance for your round to heat up, too?
So that ball nestles down in the rough. Just got to weigh a little bit on that tee ball. That's a bit offline in the rough. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Miss hit, wrong club. What happened there, Frank?
All of the above, maybe. It's a little bit of a head scratcher. It wasn't that hard a shot. Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. That was well done, and now a very short putt to get out of here with a bogey.
Well, it could be a lot worse, that's for sure. 5 minutes ago.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. In for bogey, now sitting at 2 over for the round. So a tester from 4 feet. Good putt. Frank, this is where you begin to see almost this ingenious, evil nature of this design by the Pirates here at Treasure Island. It gets punishing to the finish.
It certainly does, Rich. This is also where we start our ascent to the summit of Devil's Cauldron with just a little tempting par 3. Just goes across. It has to be flighted well across the ravine, but it's got to be up.
Lost that one, out of bounds, and that is a costly stroke. This will be the third shot after being penalized for going out of bounds. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie.
Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. And so that ball does settle. Frank, how far?
Well, it's actually my favorite number, 14 feet.
Why 14?
It's my birthday. It's no snack, though.
Just slides by.
Yeah, can't afford to miss too many of those out here today.
Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. Too bad. 2 drop shots right there with a double bogey. For par. Been a rocky road to this point. 4 over par on the round. Frank, the climb continues here at the 16th. Tricky, especially off that tee. You can see there's trouble there on the left.
Devil's elbow. That's why it's called that, Rich. Aim a little far left, or don't find the landing strip, and you will pay a severe price on this dogleg right par 4. Plus, the green is just sort of cut right into the side of the volcano.
So going well up the hill to that green, will need to take an extra club here. Playing in the winds can really be demoralizing. You might hit a shot perfectly and airmail it by 20 yards.
Yeah, well, just because the first part of the round hasn't gone your way, you should still have a feel of the conditions by now.
Tugged that one a little bit offline to the left, and and he'll pay a bit of a price because that rough is fairly thick. That one was running so hot. Second shot. Good look at the green.
Well, that's a little absurd, that, Rich. That shot wasn't that hard, but it's come up well short.
Didn't appear committed through impact.
Yeah, it was a little overambitious.
This requires a lot of speed through the ball. How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Chases that in for par to stay at 4 over. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. So, Frank, that's a bogey, and you see something with the body language here?
Yeah, I think we noticed that back there with that double bogey, Rich. Since then, it's almost like doubts crept in, a little bit of uncertainty. That is the beauty of this game at times, but really, if you want to be a champion, that's one thing that you have to change. Somehow, you've got to forget what's just happened. We haven't seen that yet.
She's ended up on the fairway, and with such a good lie, so many more options available now. Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Frank, you always start out thinking about going low, but you know in this game you can end up feeling low. What do you tell a player who's had an off day?
Well, this is as much about managing your misses as celebrating your great shots. You look at the best players in the world, they know how to play bad better than anybody.
On the green, sure, but plenty of real estate between the ball and the hole. Well, Frank, as we know, golf is not played generally on a flat surface, and here we go, uphill.
Yeah, and the uphill lie is going to guarantee you more loft than normal. So you're going to have to counteract that with maybe an extra club.
Good-looking shot right here. Just want to nestle this one down to within a couple of feet. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. As this putt for birdie. That's a step in the right direction. Makes the putt and makes the move to 3 over. In for par. Well, Frank, we thought 17 at TPC Sawgrass was hard. Try hitting it over lava.
I was going to say, this is a lovely finishing hole, Rich. A lovely finishing hole.
Hoping to get this up and down here, Frank, at the par 3 after missing the green.
Yeah, it's not all bad.
Well, just needs to refocus right here. Out of bounds on that last shot. Needs to keep this one in play. Third shot now after having gone OB. Look out, that's headed to the galleries. Well, no other way to say it, Frank. That's just an awful shot.
Bad.
Down, little Sheba. Down! Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Well, once you hit double the par, it's time to just pick up and move on. Now, my yardage book says 145 yards to the hole. Frank, can one small tweak from an instructor lead to a big turnaround?
With the right player, yeah. You just want to hear the right message. It's like anyone in life. You just want to be pointed in the right direction.
Well, double par here. Time to pick up and move on. Disappointing round overall, Frank. It looks as though the range is going to get a visit today.
Oh, yeah. Grab a bucket of balls and you've got to work out the swing as quick as possible.
Today's coverage brought to you by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Hello again and welcome, Rich Lerner, alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. We are along the Paracel Islands in the South China Sea. Frank, on a mission here today. What can you tell us about this course?
Well, one thing, Rich, we don't want to fatigue out there, so I've got my battle gear on. Interesting layout ahead. Plenty of water. The island's there to be negotiated, navigated, and you never know what just might pop up during the course of the game.
And partner, let me just, before we get started, salute you.
I salute you too, Rich. You ready?
Ready. Aim.
Fire.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Stuffed it in there really close, and now just a tap in. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. This is EA Sports. PGA Tour coverage coming up next. This is Rich Lerner alongside my colleague Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, and we will be calling all the action for today's event.
Rich, I'm armed and ready. Are you?
I am. Battle gear on. Let's get it going. Offline, and I think that one's headed for the rough. Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. But then I guess you're allowed that in this game.
This one's looking good. "15 feet away. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Nice putt. Count it. She has this attempt for par. Even par early on. Now to the second hole, and Frank, I'd be happy to see something with just the normal amount of obstacles, say, a bunker, maybe a pond. Those would be rather benign compared to what we're seeing right here on this second hole.
Yeah, that's no love shack. That's a guard shack there on the right of the screen, just past that bridge. So this green well protected on that right side. Of course, water adorns this island green, and tons of local fauna around the green. This is one green you do not want to miss. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. That is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. A shot you think you could hit directly at the flag. Now, test for the short game.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. She has something going now to 2 under.
Even par currently.
Still even par for the day. Frank, this is a golf course that takes every bit of modern equipment, telecommunications, hardware to get the job done. Woods, irons, hybrids. I'll tell you this, a little Kevlar wouldn't hurt either.
Yeah, if you don't have that there today, you'll catch some flack.
Just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Frank, this one needs to sit down.
Oh, it's got no chance, Rich. This is still going up.
Frank, there's fairway, there's rough, and then there's mulch.
Yeah, the worst thing about the mulch is all these little chips around the ball, and that's so the ball doesn't sit up. And once again, this shot might look easy, but if you just miss it a bit, it so exaggerates the outcome.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. No problems early. Looks good.
It does look good. This bodes well. We might be in for a very, very low round today.
Putt drops. Now at 1 over par. I mean, think about what you're saying here. I've called golf with you for a long time, Frank, and at bunkers and water hazards. You're talking about solar panels and guard towers. This is unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm starting to go crazy calling this game, Rich. Might have to go into solitary if this keeps up.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Pretty good shot right there. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Oh, do that in the hole. Tremendous shot. She has this for par. Good roll. Solid. That's a par.
Now, blind tee shot. Got to go over those 2 rocks in front of you. Just keep it right of those palms in the distance.
That's a bit offline in the rough. Uh-oh, this one's going left, Frank. This requires a lot of speed through the ball. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. All right, no damage done. Stays at 1 over par with that putt. Just a tap in to finish the hole. Did the job right there. Up to the 6th tee, Frank, and we're back against that destroyer. You need to take it over that small island.
Yeah, this is a little village too, and remember the double greens at St Andrews? Well, this is a split double green. It's shared in amongst the village. The green on the right, very, very small. So this a very lengthy par 3. It's going to be a case of really ready aim driver for some.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. That one was running so hot. So a tester from 4 feet. 1 over for the day. Not a problem from there. Right in the middle. Now on to the 7th, and Frank, you don't want to get stuck down in those trenches or down on the beach to the left.
Yeah, this hole not overly long, but yeah, there's a lot going on, and really sand traps, even perhaps a minefield. You'd rather, if you're going to miss, be in the former.
Frank missed the green off the tee.
Yeah, but this is certainly a tricky little shot coming up here at the par 3. This is definitely not going down the fairway.
It doesn't look good. I think it's going to be in the deep rough. In the thick stuff.
Thick? It's brittle out there.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Well, this is how you build a good round, Frank. You just keep hitting greens. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Partner, look at that. Left here at the 8th hole. You and I could shoot a little hoop. You want to play a little donkey?
Yeah, it's very observant of you, Rich. Also, the barracks just up ahead that protect the left side of this green. So there's a lot of visual intimidation on this par 3. Follow the sandy trail, and there's green at the end. Rich, there's nothing worse than this. This might look all right, but in the mulch, this is a disastrous situation.
So this is not mulch or do about nothing?
Ah, I get it. I tell you, those shoes at the end of the day, they're going to have so much sand in them.
Don't bring those home. That looked like a miss hit, Frank.
The lie was okay. It's a little surprising. Maybe wrong club.
Lays the face open. He'll try to pop this one out.
Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
Frank, how about that?
Well, can you believe that, too? I mean, could have hit the flag and bounced away. Instead, straight in. Amazing shot. And really deserves it.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. -3 now for the round. Frank finishing up now the front side in what so far has been a pretty heroic mission.
There is a green down this end there, but you miss it on the right. There's the trenches, and of course, even further right, there's that seawall that provides a fortress for the beach on that right side. But the green, fortunately, inland and away from the trouble.
Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up.
Should be safely on deck. It's no snack though. Well, we'll never know if that had gone in because it never made it.
How about that? 4 under par. Okay, has it and stays at 1 over par. Getting set for the back 9 here at Paracel Storm. We are in the South China Sea at a golf course unlike any other in the world. Rich Lerner for EA Sports alongside Frank Nobilo. What a day it's been so far, partner.
It certainly has, Rich. We can have a little liaison here with the short 10th. Not overly long, around the 150-yard mark. The flag position is always important here. When it's on the left, it's a long way away from the beach. Probably the easier hole location. Put it on the right side, and that water comes very much into play. And this one just seems to be moving a little left in the air.
Not too bad. On the green and looking at a birdie opportunity. Now she can make birdie.
Great too.
Beautiful. Four under on the day. The 11th hole is a short one here at Paracel Storm. Frank, a pretty good looking little hole.
125, one of the shortest on the golf course. You tee off just out there by the coast and then head it over the seawall. So really it shouldn't be that much of a problem for the players playing here. If you're worrying about the wind, there's 2 weather vanes down there. So it's easy to look up and get an accurate indication of which way it's blowing today.
That is classy.
That had a chance of going in.
130 yards left now. Frank, how impressive has this round been considering the strong winds?
It's remarkable, Rich. If you look at everybody else, this has been a round to savour.
Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. You've let one go. You've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important that this one goes in.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Has it. Up to the 12th, making a trip across to an island green, Frank.
It looks more like a shipwreck island, and that's an evil place to put the green on that side. Very well defended by that rock wall as well as the water. And of course, anything short, those big rocks that protect this green. This is probably the most heavily guarded par 3 on the golf course.
Make bogey or worse here, they might strand you out there. Might need some wings just to clear this hazard.
That water is looking rather intimidating.
Now on to his 3rd shot after the last one went into the water.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. 2nd shot coming out of the rough here.
Safely on the dance floor. Rich, with a lie like that on the rough, you're going to get too much grass between club face and ball. You're going to have to adjust for that and at least take a club or 2 more.
Just misses. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Putt drops. Now at 1 over par. Doesn't want to let this one get away. She needs this for par. No problem at all. Good putt and stays at 4 under par. Here we are now at the 13th, and Frank, this is a stout-looking hole.
Rich, it certainly is. No time to be superstitious on number 13. The trenches, they protect the back and the right of this green. Anything left of that, time to call in the Navy.
Look out left.
And there's rough over there.
How tough is this going to be now from the rough, Frank?
Oh, it's tough to say, Rich. I mean, so much is going to depend on that lie. I'm going to need a little bit of luck.
Oh, get down. Look out.
It's over. The green.
No fairway here. This one in that rough. This requires a lot of speed through the ball. Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. Solid par. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Three under on the day. Frank, here at the 14th, not a long hole, but not a big green either.
It almost lulls you into that false sense of security. You just see the green, it stands up like an old sand dune. The beach around doesn't seem to be that problematic. A few trees behind, really, they just give you a nice line. But beware of what looks straightforward.
Looks sort of like a deserted island, Frank. Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th.
You know, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. And getting ready for the putt. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one, really. This is an awkward length.
Never a doubt, looking to make a statement today. Just a couple of feet. You love to watch him disappear, don't you? Now to the 15th, and Frank, where exactly is the green here?
Well, I think you need the Jungle Book to try and decipher this one. A little short par 3 up and over there. There is a green in amongst that jungle, and even the green has its own little mini jungle in it.
This is one of my favorite holes on this golf course.
This is way left going left.
And that one's going to be in the rough, it looks like. That will be a great look at birdie. That's a disappointment right there, Frank.
Yeah, green light special, really. Come up considerably short. Yeah, the worst thing about the mulch is all this little chip doesn't sit up. And once again, this shot might look easy, but if you just miss it a bit, it so exaggerates the outcome.
Time to pick up and move on. For birdie. Settles in over the putt. They'll take it. That's a par. Frank, coming to the closing stretch here at Paracel Storm in the South China Sea, the 16th hole. You look out over the expanse of this land with those solar panels, the battleships that are ruined. It's pretty evident we're not at Daddy's Country Club, are we?
No, that's for sure. Those solar panels just remind us, too, we've got to conserve energy before we get to the end of the round. Not an overly long par 3. Juts out there. Those boulders, well, they really, I don't know if they protect or basically repel anything on that right side. We'll soon find out. The water and the bridge, they're also to be avoided.
Just a bit offline here, Frank, but not too bad.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the wind or just the lie there. Should be okay.
Well, she just played a wonderful shot from back there. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way.
Even par currently.
Good putt, and now 1 under par. Steady as she goes, another par, and still even for the round. 17th hole now at Paracel Storm, and Frank, as we come toward the end of this round, you really want to salute the caddies as well as the players.
That's right. They've gone out there with meal packs today and canteens to make sure that there's the right amount of sustenance. But if you're looking for victory, then a strong finish is needed. Good chance for a birdie here at 17. You've got to traverse, obviously, the water there, and without the help of the Navy today, this is going to have to come in nice and high and soft, a little bit like a paratrooper coming in down there to avoid all those trees and palm trees that protect the front and the right side of this par 3. This one's going left, Rich.
Not knocking down the flagstick here, but looks as though it will find the green.
Now it's at sneaky distance. Well, we'll never know if that had gone in because it never made it.
Shouldn't be a problem here.
Can't birdie them all, Rich.
One under for the round. And drops it in. Frank, the job is almost complete here at the 18th hole, and a good job at that, as we have seen some spectacular golf here at Paracel Storm in the South China Sea.
Just one more battle ahead, the difficult 18th. Should they succeed, then I think they're worthy of a salute.
Frank missed the green off the tee.
Yeah, but this is certainly a tricky little shot coming up here at the par 3.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity.
Remember, out of the rough, expect the ball to jump forward a little. If you hit enough shots, every now and again, one's going to go in.
Crazy, crazy game. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. And it is in.
Amazing. Amazing.
Frank, what a day of golf we saw out there today. The kind of performance that a General Schwarzkopf, a General Patton would be proud of. EA Sports is proud to present PGA Tour coverage. Well, take a look at this site, Wolf Creek Golf Club. It is for real. Frank, I've never seen anything quite like this as we get set to call it for EA Sports. I'm Rich Lerner behind the mic, and we welcome you to this site that opened up back in 2000. It's a part of 72 with some elevated tees. Frank, what does the player need to look out for here at Wolf Creek?
Well, everything. Try and keep your eyes on the fairways, though. That's the only green thing apart on this magnificent venue. It's hard to imagine you can play golf in this sort of area, but it's so well defined. Obviously, anything green is golf course, and left or right of that, you're going to find yourself in some problems. But really trying to judge all the elevation changes. Ball's going to fly a little bit further in the thin air, but it's amazing on the eye.
Frank, the beauty of golf, we're not playing inside a dome with no wind. You have to be able to handle the elements.
You do, and that's really where the better player comes through. On a day like today, anything around par is going to be a good score, so just adjust your own mental par. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Be a little disappointed with that because it lands in the rough and it appears to be fairly thick over there. Frank, you think about the great rivalries in sports, the Yankees and the Red Sox, Ollie and Frazier, and in golf, Nicklaus and Palmer. Great athletes, great teams, pushing one another to great heights.
It's amazing how that's gone forward too, because Nicklaus and Palmer really became Nicklaus and Watson. Then there was like Norman Faldo, but some would say that Faldo Ballesteros, 6 majors to 5, was even more important. But in this era that we're in now, I think we're all praying for that Woods-McIlroy rivalry. Woods with 14 majors, McIlroy already with 4. That really is one to celebrate over. Second shot. This has no chance of finding the fairway. This is turning left.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means. Frank, this one's going too far left, it looks like.
Yeah, it was fine there for a little while, but if it keeps going left, it's doomed.
Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. But then I guess you're allowed that in this game.
Great effort right there, and a great chance to knock in that short putt. Third shot, looking for a good one. Locked in on the read and the speed. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
In the hole, and that'll bring the score to 1 under. For the par. Even par early on. Ready to tee off here at the second hole. Quite a view from up here, Frank.
Once again, big elevated tee, and it's hard to imagine you have a tee that high up, but that'll shorten that 445 yards. Obviously, it's a dog leg left. You've got to be careful if you hit driver and two straight, because then you can run out. A nice tee shot in the middle there, and then you get a relatively straight shot into this sort of par 4 green, obviously going a little bit back up the hill. And once again, a little bit like that opening hole, sort of different tiers on that green. Try and make sure that you're on the right one.
Headed for the bunker? Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. The green is up above, and this will play at least a club longer. Good swing, good shot yet again. So on the putting surface, and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. 90 yards. "14 feet to the hole. Never quite had enough oomph on that.
Yeah, sort of a wishy-washy stroke.
That's 1 under on the day. Stays at 1 under with that par. Now on to the third, first of the short holes here at Wolf Creek. Uphill shot, Frank?
Yes, it's going to play a little longer because of that. Then it's 227 yards off the back tee. Hard to imagine you have a par 3 in amongst this desert. And really, that's all it is. Tee and green. There's not much in between. Well protected, as you can see, by those bunkers. And this green a little smaller than what you'd like for a hole that's around that 230-yard mark. This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Look out left.
And there's rough over there. Yeah, that was a little over-ambitious.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Well, that's how you play the game, right there. And setting up here in the rough. Settles in over the putt. 1 under early in the round. So just a formality here. Did the job right there. Back to the tee here at Wolf Creek. A lot of sand along the right side of this fairway leading up to the green, Frank.
Yeah, I can't even count how many bunkers they got down that right side. It's easy to see where not to go. So obviously you want to get that ball up on that left side. And then really it's just a short pitch across. Yeah, this hole's only 383 yards. And it won't even really play its distance. But, of course, you've got to be careful. It's not long, but fairway first once again here. You can see all the problems around there if you do miss this fairway.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
So 24 feet after that approach shot, Frank.
It's well, just outside the what you'd think very makeable distance.
And now a putt from 24 feet away. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
These putts keep the round together. Frank, you know what gets me about this game? Here a person makes a legitimate effort, makes a good stroke, and that ball spins around and is just laughing at the player. And now what's left, you can breathe on that ball. It counts the same as a 300-yard drive. It's not right.
But it's the beauty of the game.
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
Good contact, good result. Well, this is going to be an interesting day. The wind is howling, or as they would say in Scotland, just a wee breeze. Now the second shot to the par 5. Well, that was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. This is a cross-country special. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. That may have been a bit too much to ask for there, that distance putt, Frank.
Yeah, it's fine to be greedy before you hit the putt, but after you've hit it, 2 from that distance is fine.
Excellent roll for 3 under par. Just a couple of feet. Good stroke right there. That's a par, and stays at 1 under. Frank, standing on the 6th tee and looking out at this golf course, I can't help but think, that if you hit it offline here, you're going to be playing golf with the billy goats.
Yeah, you might actually turn into a billy goat come the end of the day, that's for sure. The huge elevation changes, once again, are apparent here at the 6th. Tis a dogleg to the right, not really a driver unless you want to sort of bring that creek into play or that little stream that cuts across. Second shot, a little bit uphill. Those bunkers are really where you shouldn't go. We all know that. And this green is anything other than flat. A fun-looking hole, too, and a fun hole to play. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Strong wind here early in the round. How do you think this is going to affect the players, Frank?
Well, they've got to be clever on club selection and the type of shot they want to hit now.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Well, he didn't knock down the flag stick right there, but 25 feet, that's not too bad. 110 to the flag. This is how the game is supposed to be played. This has been just outstanding. Beautiful to watch. Great knees, great hands in this shot.
Yeah, touch. You have to have that feel. You have something between the ball and the club face, so it's a different feel, but you also have to have imagination.
As this putt for birdie. How does that not go in?
Amazing. Stroke looked good. Line looked good. Just did not take that final break.
Hard to be perfect in this game. That's a bogey. And with that, 1 under par. Well, everybody loves the short par 4. And here we have one, Frank, just 302 yards, the 7th hole.
And this hole is anything other than straightforward, Rich. Huge drop off at the front of the screen that is surrounded by water. So it's going to be a layup off the tee, really, to try and get the right yardage. This green is very, it's not very deep, but it's extremely wide. The hardest thing is to try and get a flat lie with whatever club you decide to hit off the tee and get the right yardage. Otherwise, that green actually might be a little elusive, even though this is a very short hole. Rich, there's rough and rough. That ball is needle-nosed down.
Can't even see it from here. Probably going to have to hit one more club here, Frank. Little bit uphill. Moving a little bit to the right. And to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Thank goodness, Frank, back on dry land here.
As long as this one avoids it.
This now the 4th shot after the last one was in the water.
Yeah, just somehow just get it on the green.
Miss hit, wrong club. What happened there, Frank?
All of the above, maybe. That's a little bit of a head scratcher. It wasn't that hard a shot. It's that sneaky distance.
Came to the putt, excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. So with that, the score is now at even par. And drops it in. Frank, I really like this hole, the par 3/8 here at Wolf Creek.
It measures just under 250 yards. Really what you want to know is the yardage just to the front edge of the green. Anything obviously that carries sort of 5 or 6 paces on there, then at least you've got a relatively big green to hit at. But you can see the trouble that surrounds short and left of this green, as well as just over the back.
Well, on the green, but far from the hole.
Yeah, a little bit of a head scratcher. A lot of work coming up here. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Might want to check the GPS on a putt this long. Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. Frank, this game will drive you crazy.
Yeah, you can do so many things right, and just something so simple, completely wrong.
Makes the putt and goes to 1 under.
Even par, currently.
Well, that's a bogey. Starting to go the wrong way now, Frank.
If you keep driving 100 miles an hour, accidents are going to happen. Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my idol.
And it looks like Rory McIlroy, Frank, sticking the follow-through.
Oh, that's fine.
That is a sweet swing, like an easy breeze on a nice summer day. Frank, as we get set for this approach, what does our featured player need to do to regain some of that early round magic?
First, a bit of advice, really. Take a deep breath. Make sure all those bad thoughts get out of your mind. After that hot start, we all know they can play better than this, but they need to relax first of all and then let their game take over again.
Birdie chance here on this very long putt. That's a nice lag putt. Frank, what would you focus on a long putt?
That 3-foot circle, obviously you allow yourself a little bit more the further and further away you get, but just expectations, lower them a little bit. There's certain distances, just take 2.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Well, you can see the golfer is just boiling right now after that miss. And a drop shot here at the 9th. Locked in on the read and the speed.
Oh, it just shaves the edge.
Tough hole. Has this now for double bogey. So, with that, 3 over par now for the round. Did the job right there. The par 4 10th. What's the right way to attack this hole, Frank?
Rich, you've got to convince yourself there's more fairway down there than what it first looks, because of that ridge on that right side of the desert there blocks your view off the tee. But this fairway is just as wide as every other fairway on the golf course. A good drive, sort of 280, 300 yard plus, will always take those bunkers down the left out of play. From there, that second shot, just be aware where the flag is. If they have it in that front or middle section, this is certainly a birdie hole. Anything on the green is going to be a very sort of makeable putt. Just be careful, though, when that flag is on the back right. That's the hard position because it brings that pop bunker into play.
Well, Frank, as we know, golf is not played generally on a flat surface, and here we go, uphill.
Yeah, and the uphill lie is going to guarantee you more loft than normal. So you're going to have to counteract that with maybe an extra club.
Pretty good shot right there, about 10 feet away, setting up the putt for birdie. Frank, this is a pretty challenging approach shot here at the 10th.
It's certainly one of the longest second shots you'll play into a par 4 at Wolf Creek. You're coming off a lie with the ball slightly above your feet, so that's a hook shot. And you're really hitting a hook shot into a green that's designed to hit a cut. It makes this shot a little bit more challenging, so just be a little careful here.
Drops the putt to go to 2 under. Shouldn't be a problem here. Mark that as a birdie on the card. On to the 11th hole, we're looking downhill, 215 yards to the green.
And this is one of the holes that you realize you're at Wolf Creek. You would never see this hole anywhere else in the world. It's amazing when you stand on this tee. You see all of the canyons around, but there is a little green area down there surrounded by a couple of bunkers. It's a great-looking par 3. It measures 215 yards, very playable, and you never know, today might be the day where you make birdie.
Frank, this one's offline.
There's rough and thick stuff over there.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole.
Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
Right about 9 feet here to the hole. Nice par to remain at 2 under. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. 2 over for the day. Now to the par 5, 12. Pretty big hole with a really big green.
And a really good blue area to the left, cord water there. That's to be avoided off this tee, that's for sure. A good drive that avoids all of that. And then the hole is certainly reachable, but as you can see, water creeps in again, back right on this hole. So just don't get too cavalier here. A 5 wouldn't be the worst score. I know you want better, but believe me, seen many a 6s and 7s racked up here at 12. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like.
Errant tee shot here, Rich, but going to have to muscle this one out of the rough.
Frank, anything you do differently from the rough in terms of your swing? Do you hinge the club a little bit more quickly?
You know, normally put the ball just a little bit further back in your stance because you want the club to be going down. Down, it's got to go down through the grass, through the ball.
Well, that ball nestled down just a bit in that heavy rough. Safely aboard. Good scoring opportunity. Third shot here at the par 5. For birdie. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. So with that make, now at 3 under par. Good solid par right there. Now to the 13th hole, and, I don't know, should we just fly it over the mountains, Frank?
It looks like that, but then you better find dry land. 350 yards, but as the crow flies, it's probably just a little over 300 yards. I don't know if the mere mortals would really want to flash it across that desert ridge. You probably want to play a little left of it, have a little pitch up the hill. But if you're one of the longer hitters, why not just try it, see if you can make it.
Just a bit offline and into the bunker. And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. That one is bunker bound, it looks like. That one is in the bunker. Great professionals, Frank, they don't fear the greenside bunker shot, do they?
No, because you can be as aggressive or as conservative as you want. You actually have far more options. And you don't have to hit the ball first.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Great shot coming out of that bunker right there.
Showing some skills today.
Third shot, looking for a good one. These putts keep the round together. Can't make it, Frank, if you don't hit it.
Hubert Green once said, 99% of putts left short don't go in. I don't know what happened to the other 1%, but...
Nice par to remain 3 under. Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. Okay, no problem with that one. 14th hole here at Wolf Creek. Time to pull out the driver and as well the phone because you want to take some pictures here.
Yeah.
What a spectacular view.
Stunning. You can see a whole panoramic from this golf course. Then when you flick back and actually look at the 14th hole, there's 6 bunkers, 3 really in play with the tee shot, as you can see, the other 3 just up by the green. Anything to the right of those is preferred, unless you want to be playing your second shot out of the canyon or the bunkers. Green should be fairly receptive, and 3 distinct portions, which is sort of a common trait here at Wolf Creek. It's sort of 3 different tier levels and that. But let's see, birdies that to be made at Wolf Creek, maybe even one here.
Well, no other way to say it, Frank. That's just an awful shot.
Bad.
It is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. Shot you think you could hit directly at the flag. Now, test for the short game. Well, look out.
This one's way offline. And it looks like it's in the rough there, Frank.
It might not be as bad as it looks.
Well, we've got about 135 yards left.
That's a tough lie to come out of. Not surprising it's come up short.
Well short right there, but still in the game for a par. That one ends up in the rough.
Oh, that went sideways.
In the greenside bunker here, Frank. Nice to go to the beach, but not too often, we hope. Okay, good shot on the dance floor. Frank, out of the rough, best to swing a little bit easier or get after it with all you have.
Well, a little bit in between. Obviously, it's going to require a little bit of strength to make sure that club keeps going through, but it's still the planning of the shot. Once again, check short. Is there anything I have to carry? And even remember, there's always the option of just simply pitching the ball down the fairway and taking your medicine.
Now at -2 for the day. Now to the short par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. What is this, Frank? Just a wedge or a 9-iron?
That's all, Rich, but it's very tempting to get greedy here. And, well, you pay the price, obviously, if you miss the green on the left down in those bunkers because they're a good 6-7 feet below the level of the green. But with a wedge or a 9-iron, who doesn't go aiming at the flag?
That's well played. Now a good look at birdie. This is a good-looking shot.
This is an awkward length.
Well, that's a bit disappointing.
I guarantee you, though, she thought she had that one.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. You've let one go. You've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important that this one goes in.
With authority, count it as a par and 2 under. Short par 4, 16th hole measures only 393 yards. But Frank, as is the case with pretty much every hole, despite the yardage, there's plenty of trouble.
It does. It plays tricks on the mind's eye here. It looks like it's a dog leg going one way, then back the other way. But really, it's built as a straight hole just across the canyon. And that's the way you've got to play it. I don't think you can drive the green, even the longest hitters at 393 yards. But just a nice drive down there. Take the bunkers on, get it past there. And before you know it, you've got a little wedge in here. And it should sit up nicely for a birdie.
In the bunker, still with a chance for an up and down. Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. All right, Frank, second shot.
Yeah, it looks like a good lie. Just take maybe half a club more than the distance allows. Still got to check the wind. Don't have to fly the ball all the way to the flag from here.
And settles about 14 feet away. Not bad. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. I don't know if that was a misread or what, Frank, but that one hurts.
Yeah, she's certainly going to have to pick up her socks after that.
So that was a medium-length putt. Speed was right on track, but the read wasn't where it needed to be. Good effort and good par putt. Doesn't want to let this one get away. She needs this for par. 2 under on the day. So 2 holes left to play. Now the final par 5 on the course, 562 yards, the 17th.
The drive looks relatively straightforward. And I say that because there's a little creek down there that obviously you have to stay short of. But that's the fun part. They want to keep you back in an area where you go, can I hit the second shot across the stream, across the water, and still keep it on the green? And the answer is, I don't know.
That is just a beautiful shot.
Ah, nice.
Looks good. Superb position, right in the fairway, and 200 yards to the flagstick.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
Good lie in the fairway. Good chance to make something happen here. With that ball nestled down just a... Well, you don't want to compound the error. Out of bounds and now back on the tee with a provisional. This one has to be in play. Now this will be counted as the 4th shot after going OB on that previous shot. And setting up here in the rough. Oh, what an incredible shot. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Chases that in for par to stay at 4 over. 18th hole, and Frank, again, a good scoring opportunity. Short par 4.
Card, you think you could drive this green, but one quick look at the trouble in front and to the right of the screen, and you realize that's probably not the prudent play. Really, something 230, 240 yards off the tee in that vicinity is going to leave you just a flick wedge into this green. It is a rather narrow green, but from that distance, you'd expect to hit it close. That's an absolute beauty.
So this is where club selection becomes much more important. Uphill, make sure you have enough stick, and then swing away. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Well, I'm reminded of what an old caddy used to say about the great Lanny Watkins when he was on fire. You can't hide the flagstick from that man. And now a putt from 24 feet away.
When you consider the length of that putt, that's a good putt.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Final tally on this day, a round of 75. This would give her the bogey. Now at 1 under for the round. What a day of golf we saw out there today, Frank. It was a lot of fun.
Wolf Creek is just an amazing experience, Rich. To imagine that they could build a golf course like this, and let alone people could play it and have fun. Every shot's a different experience out there. I doubt you'd ever get another golfing experience anywhere in the world that would come close to this.
Nothing like Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada. So for my partner, Frank Nobilo, and all of us here at EA Sports, we say so long from Wolf Creek Golf Club. Presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour.